So in about a month, I'm going to a wedding, the first wedding I've been to for 15 years maybe. And of course, I need something to wear. So I'm going to make something. Hello, it's Icy. Yes, that's right. Once again, the Victorian project is being delayed, but I am going to make something historical, vaguely inspired by history, I think we will say. Yes, I have a wedding to go to for my niece. Oh my God. She was a 1-year-old baby at my own wedding. Goodness me, how time flies. So I am going to make a dress. Now, if you've been watching this channel, you might know that I actually bought a dress, link in the corner, thrifted, for $10. An amazing, gorgeous, absolutely fantastic cocktail dress that I was going to wear. And now I've realized I can't because the rest of my immediate family, Mr. Icy and the kids, their outfits don't match the formality of that particular dress. So I would feel overdressed with them, and probably overdressed compared to everybody else who's going as well. And it's not my wedding, it's for somebody else. So I am actually going to put that in the cupboard. Will I wear it? Do I have an opportunity to wear it? I don't know. At some point, maybe I will actually get to wear my $10 cocktail dress. But instead, I'm actually going to make something. Now, this is going to be a 1930s, I want to say vibe dress, inspired, like the feel of it. I'm not using an historic pattern because, to be honest, I'm not sure one would fit me, but I'm going to use kind of the inspiration of 1930s dresses. So I've done some Googling, I've done some searching, and I think the main inspiration I've got is this dress, which, as you can see, is very, very straightforward, simple. Square top, quite boxy, long straight skirt, belt, possibly. Corset belt? Maybe? We'll see. I'm not 100% sure about the belt. But the reason I wanted to make a 1930s style dress, and particularly something along this line, is because I actually already own a dress that is that kind of vibe, and it's a little bit of leg there, and it's great. So yeah, I already own this black dress, so I already have something that has the sort of boxy, looser top, semi-fitted skirt, ankle length, and it is actually, yeah, all the way down to the ankles. And it looks great. I know it suits me. It's very comfortable. It's appropriate compared to what the rest of my family is wearing. I'm not dressed too young for my actual age. Does that make sense? A lot of the time, I am totally, I'm wearing chunky black boots, the whole thing. But it's, like there's a spot at where I want to aim what I'm wearing. So I think I'm going to basically copy this dress. Now, if there wasn't a please no black kind of wedding, which it is, or at least not unrelieved straight black, which is my preference, I would just wear this dress. I would totally wear this dress. It is t-shirt material, so it might not count as being quite formal enough, but I would have worn this dress otherwise and added, fancy belt, fancy accessories, etc., and that would have been fine. However, as it won't be an option, what I've decided to do is, yeah, copy this dress and turn it into, basically, I'm going to make a copy, as you do. Now, I have some fabric. I bought this sometime, somewhere. It would have been extremely cheap, probably like, you know, under $4 a meter, because I don't buy fabric that I don't have a plan for unless it's really, really cheap. So as you can see, it is actually see-through. Now, I don't think that's a problem as such. There are actually a number of 1930s designs where it's like a underdress and then a sheerer version on top. So what I figure, and it's stretching this direction as well, which is good, which is handy. So what I figure is I have plenty of plain black dresses, like sleeveless, you know, strappy black dresses. So I figure what I'll do is wear a plain sleeveless strappy black dress and then make an overdress, so to speak, out of this, and basically replicate what I've got. So, and that should give me something that is not black. It is kind of red. I mean, I know red is also not a wedding color, but I'm going to pretend that it's very maroon. You know, and then yeah, see if I can make a thing. So I've never sewn with this fabric. I don't know how terrible it will be. Hopefully it doesn't fray, so that's the first good thing. It does have selvages, but I'm not going to use it all the way. Well, sometime I might go all the way to the selvages in places. I think probably on the long vertical seams, I can probably French seam it. I think we'll be fine. And that should make it both strong enough so it won't kind of dissolve. I think I'm going to have a problem in this direction though. So for across, I don't know if you can hear that noise, if that's coming through. It's the pipes. Oh well, water running through the pipes. In this around the neck and across the top of the shoulders, there's a lot of stretch in this, and I don't want it just kind of like destroying itself. So I think what I'm going to do is just run like a super thin black ribbon just like through it, and then sort of, you know, fold it over, and so the black ribbon is enclosed in the hem, which should get rid of the stretch, I hope. I think that should work. I don't really have any very thin black ribbon at the moment, but what I've just realized is in this dress, sort of inside, are some like super long black things to assist with hanging this on a coat hanger when I bought this. And this dress is like 7 years old or something. And I've never cut them off, which is lucky because I'm going to cut them off now and use that to put structure across the top of the thing. I am going to make this, I think, in one piece. So I'm going to make the square top, taper that into the waist, and then basically make an additional fold and then run a piece of elastic through that fold, sort of at this waist here. So this dimension here across my hips is a bit bigger than the hips. It's not like skin tight, it's just skimming. So I'm going to go for that. And I think in the first instance, I'm going to go for actually an A-line triangular, probably as wide as the actual fabric, which is, I think it's 1.2 wide. So take it out into a full triangle. Try it on with just non-Frenched seams, just like the straight seams. Try it on, see how it looks, and then decide what I do from there. Because I can either go like this one, it's just a very straight skirt with the slit on one side. That looks awesome. But maybe like an A-line would be like a better look, a more elegant look. I don't know. So that's the plan. So I have, just over a month to put this together. And hopefully it will look fine. Do I have a backup plan if this doesn't? No, not really. The backup plan, honestly, the backup plan is possibly this dress with colourful accessories. I don't know. I really don't. So I think it should be okay. Like draping and various things with this, it's like, oh no, I think that should give me the right look. Do we know? No, we don't. I already have shoes, I already have a handbag I can wear, use thingy. And then maybe I will need a belt. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But anyway, this is going to be an adventure. Oh, I missed one other thing. So I can either have it way straight across the shoulders, but what I think possibly I can do in order to add a little bit of shaping is if I took on the thing, basically took a whole fold, sort of from sort of down at the bottom all the way to the top and sewed that down, I might get quite an interesting structural design, and it will take the flatness out of the shoulders, basically add some angle to the shoulders, which might also work. Maybe. We see how we go. But yeah, join me on this real adventure. Okay, absolute devastation when, after forgetting I'd pinned the material to the cutting table, I yoinked it up to move it and then pulled the entire cup of tea off and over my headphones. I haven't checked if they've survived yet. But we might have a thing here. So this material is unsurprisingly terrible to cut out, terrible to sew. That first side seam which I showed you, I didn't like tension the material at all because I was like, oh no, it's just gonna stretch, because usually when you sew stretch fabric, like it ends up kind of curly because it like gets overstretched. So I didn't put any tension at all on it when I was sewing it, and now it is understretched. So I will have to unpick, cut it off. Possibly I might just have to cut it off. I don't know what this is like to unpick. Anyway, we've assembled, basically I've assembled it as a top and a skirt. Nominally the final piece will be sewn together, but I mean, you're not getting like the full line, like the full view here. But this is kind of elegant. I think I would need, like I've just put on like a singlet shirt underneath. I think I would need something that has a neckline that actually matches this top to here. Because otherwise I think it would give too much of a, hey, you chucked a sheer dress over underwear vibe, which is, it's a wedding. That's not the vibe we're going for. But, I mean, this kind of batwing thing is just kind of vibing. So nominally, what would happen is, so I've just like tied this on with a scarf so it doesn't fall off. So the idea would nominally be to have this gathered into the skirt, and then the whole thing sewn together, which I think would look great. But what I'm thinking I might do, and then kind of you do have sort of a bit of a swoop at the back, but I'm kind of thinking I might just put a waistband on the top out of this fabric. Like just make like a wide waistband, just gather it in, cinch it, or maybe even just like take, I might even, I've got a little bit of gather, but I maybe just take out some more, like chuck a right angle in further down at the bottom of the bat wing, the dolman wings, dolman sleeves. Is this what we've got? Also, that was the original idea. I was talking about putting a dart in here. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I really like that kind of very broad dropped sort of thing. But yeah, adding a waistband, make it like quadruple layer out of this fabric, so it's got a bit of oomph to it. Probably wider as well. Maybe actually, no, I might even put actual elastic in it rather than just rely on this stretch. Yeah, I think I'll put some real elastic in, or something. And then for the skirt, I think what I'll do is I'll take some standard like t-shirt material, or maybe even some ponte, so it's a bit more structured, and then make a waistband out of that, and then attach the skirt to that waistband. Or even, I don't know, maybe I should just make an entire second skirt that goes underneath. I have to think about that, because we'll be going somewhere hot. I'll be wearing, like on the days when we are not at the wedding, I'll probably be wearing like a black dress. The original idea was this goes over the black dress. So I wasn't going to make like an underskirt or anything to go with this, but maybe I do that. I don't know if I have any like t-shirt, like enough t-shirt material. I do have some old A-line skirts, like t-shirt material A-line skirts that I don't really wear anymore. Perhaps they can be sacrificed to be a permanent underskirt. Anyway, basically what I'm saying is the vibe for this is good. It's good. I think it's going to come together. So yeah, I need to go and try some other things on. Yeah, I think I definitely need a top that comes to here. Now I have a 3/4 length one, but that'll be too warm. So if nothing else, I need to get and make, oh, actually, no, I do have some. No, I might actually have some shirts, like t-shirts that are correct, that I could wear underneath. So anyway, yeah, this is coming together. So next steps for this, yes. Decide if I want to modify any of the side seams, take it in, take it out. I think the shoulder width is fine. You would be able to see like the bra straps, but if I just pull them to the top of the shoulders, it should be okay. I don't think I could. I haven't cut away any of the neckline, like to add some scoop. I could end up doing that at the back a little bit, but I think it's all right like this, and it's more suitable for a wedding as opposed to having it sort of like a more an open back. So I can always come back and put more of an open back on it later. That is totally an option. Then it's working out how finish the side seams with some ribbon so it's not too stretched, though it's doing pretty well actually. So possibly I could just French seam it and be done with it. French, probably recut and re-sew the dodgy side seam. French seam the skirt. I think the subtle A-line of the skirt is what I'm going with. I don't think I'm going to go with like a more straight version. I think we're good how we are. I need to work out how I'm finishing. Ooh, whoops. How I'm finishing the hems. I can try a rolled hem. And I think that might be okay. We'll see. And work out some way of making like a waistband. But yeah, I think I'm fine if I go completely just a black wide waistband and just have that kind of underneath. Maybe even with a layer of this on top, but just so it kind of goes underneath and then the shirt goes down over top of that. Anyway, I think we have a vibe. I'm tolerably pleased. Let's take it to the next stage or something. So once again, there's some considerable delay between the first part of the video and the second part because Yes, everybody in the Icy household was sick. Very not well in unfun ways, but we all better now. Almost. But that does mean that I need to get back into the sewing project because it's now the first week of November. So a bit less than a month to go before this wedding, and all of the bits need to be made. So the outer layer is now done. I have worked out what was going to be the kind of t-shirt style underlayer, then the sort of sheer-ish layer to go over top. All done. Looks fabulous. Vaguely 1980s does 1930s. I'm here for it, honestly. I think it's cool, actually. I think it's pretty cool. But one thing that it needs, and is also in my original inspiration image from the 1930s, is it needs a belt. Now I have these kind of vaguely kind of kimono-y style wrap belts that I have a couple of that I've made, and certainly I've put those on with the outfit and gone, yes, the general vibe of like a belt, like a wide belt, is what I want. These are not suitable in that they don't actually sit properly. They look fine, but they have never been perfect, but they were an much earlier sewing project from, I don't know, 15 years ago or something, quite a long time ago. So what I want is something that's vaguely like a Swiss waist, but is geometric. Stay with me here. So something that is boned, just like plastic cable tie bonings, we're not talking real fancy here, and has some sort of maybe lacing at the back, but it might be some sort of tricky hidden thing. I haven't decided how that's working yet, what's going to go on with that. But so I have designed this all in my head, and I drew it on a piece of paper, and I have to find that paper. Hang on. Here we go. Okay. So what I want to do, so this is all fabric here, but what I want to do is make a kind of wide trapezoid here, and then a series of smaller vertical rectangles, possibly with angles at the bottom of each of them. Could be square across, haven't quite decided yet, that come down and then basically come into a strip that can be attached at the back. Now, what I plan to make this out of, I had a look at all of my fabric stashes and did not really have anything that I was after. I was definitely after something in grey / silver sorts of shades, because I think that would work well. Also, I don't want it to be just black. That way I can wear it with other things later, maybe. And also I didn't want it to be overly expensive. So there's a fabric shop that's not too far from me that I ducked into to have a look, just to see what they had, because I had some time. And I came away with 25 centimeters of, can we see this? Oh yeah, there we go. It's like a ponte with this textured silvered rib just on top. The underside is just smooth, but yeah, like look at that. It's a little sparkly, but not like, hey, look, I'm wearing a mirror ball. And I think that this should work real well. So initially, it was $40 a meter, but I only got 25 centimeters, and that's probably enough to make 2 belts, or a belt and something else, or I don't know, something. So it's what was that, 150? Yeah, so 150 by 25, pretty good. So $10 seems okay for that much. So if I do this with the straps horizontally, I mean, of course I've got black on, so it's not like you can really tell what's going on here, but that's fine. But I think what I want to do is, yeah, using that design of various kind of rectangles almost, is cut all those out individually out of this and then put it together. So this is not stretch, but it does, I mean, it's got a little bit of give, as most materials do. It's not, it's mildly stretch in the along the stripe, but that should be okay. So I think the plan is I'm going to make this kind of like a corset I saw Morgan Donna make a long time ago. It's the green corset, and I'll link it in the description somewhere, where she does this tricky thing as she goes along. So she has the 2 layers, and then she adds another 2 layers on. She basically adds another 2 layers on top and then folds it over and then sews down, and then that creates the boning channel. So if I start at the back at the skinnier sections, I think I should be able to work my way along, getting larger and larger and larger until I have everything tucked inside that front center section. Now, that description probably tells you nothing at all, but I have thought through this in my head so many times. I believe, when I should have been going to sleep, I believe this should work. And it also has the advantage, if I do that and work up to the larger sizes, I should be able to have the whole edge finished and then fold it in. And then basically pop the bone in, fold the thing in, then top stitch it to hold the bone in place, and then work my way in. So I think I should be able to get a completely enclosed edging as I come into the center. Will this work? Okay, I want to touch wood somewhere. I feel reasonably confident with this as a plan. Where I need to do some testing is the actual pattern. And obviously I'm not cutting it out of this. And I don't know what I'm going to use for the backing material. I do have some actual coutil, which I was saving for the next real corset project. This won't use much, but I might just go with some heavy black drill, which I do have more of, like non-stretch, obviously. Some black drill. I think that's probably fine. Like we're not talking about waist shaping with this, so it doesn't need to be like super duper rigid. It just needs to be enough to close relatively accurately around my, to be honest, lower ribs and top of my tummy to the back. So we're not talking about, it's not going to change shape too much. So yeah, I can basically sort of get it so there's only like a couple of centimeter gap, and then probably work some sort of cover for the lacing. I think I want something to cover over the lacing, so some sort of little flap that can be something. I don't know. We'll work that out, shall we? So that's the next part of the project. How long this is going to take, I don't know. There is a lot of crap going on right now, like life-wise, work-wise, etc. But let's see how we go. Okay, so we have a quick calico mock-up, not obviously the final construction method, but that gives me the shape at least. And okay, it's not, it's not terrible. I'm glad I added extra length because I put the paper pattern up to my waist and went, oh, no, this needs to be longer. Obviously, the corset does cinch quite nicely. So I think that should be okay. I was a bit worried that the center square being 12 centimeters wide and then all the other ones being 6 wouldn't sit nicely. But honestly, I think that's okay. Like, I think that's acceptably Art Deco. Art Deco, I mean, it is Art Deco, but I think for the 1930s that should be fine too. I don't think bending over is going to like make the points like fold up, though they'll be boned into each of the corners, so it should be okay that way. Yeah, I think this could be a vibe. So what I'll do is, I mean, I'm not sure. I think the next step, sorry, car noise. I think the next step is to, so cut out the rectangles, work out what I'm using for the backing fabric, work out if I'm interfacing anything as well, precisely draw up all of it. You know, I might just use some interfacing anyway, some white iron-on interfacing, because if nothing else, I can actually really precisely draw the lines. Where if I use chalk or something, it's just not as accurate. And I mean, you can use pencil on black fabric. Might see. We'll do some experiments. So, but yeah, I think I'll go away and find some fabric. The next step. I'm done. And it didn't take too long. I'm super pleased with how this has all come together. It really is good. So we have the top. I did find a shirt that I can wear underneath. So, and it's kind of cool because you can see my back tattoo, but it's just sort of muted, which is nice. So it's there, but then it's not there. The handbag is one of the ones I got from the thrift shop. So that's good because this actually will match and look good with the belt. And I'm so pleased with how this came together. So it absolutely gives the vibe I wanted. And I'm so pleased that the assembly method that I thought would work actually completely worked. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. One mistake. Two mistakes. I missed putting the bone in this section. it's fine. It wears fine. You can't tell. It's perfectly fine. But I did miss a step. Also on one of these backs, you can't really see it because it's all in black. But I cut the diagonal across the corner too sharp, and so it's fraying a tiny bit. It's fine. It's fine. Mr. Icy's sort of G hook that he made me, that I did not show the actual sewing in of it. It's just on 2 loops of fabric. That works super well, and when I'm wearing it, it just sits. It sits perfectly. It sits flat. It sits great. There are little plastic bones in here as well, which is good because it just keeps it kind of stiff. But lacing would have been fine, and I'm sure I could have done some sort of tricky lacing as well, where it was like maybe the laces were hidden. But this is fantastic because if I need to layers, so many layers, if there's a bathroom issue, this doesn't take any time at all to take off. So yeah, I am really happy with how this sort of Art Deco belt went. Fabric, fine to sew with, but every time I cut it, all of this stuff is just like little bits of plastic, and so it just like almost little shards everywhere. Yeah, microplastics is bad, man. And I introduced some into the environment with this fabric. But it works fabulously well. So I am extremely pleased. So yeah, my kind of weird mesh drapey 80s does 30s outfit is done, and I am happy. So yeah, I just have like a normal t-shirt on underneath, backwards, weirdly, and just a normal skirt that I already owned, like a black skirt underneath this. And so on the plane, on the way up in the morning, I can just wear that, and then just before the actual wedding, I can just put this stuff on over top, and I can go from perfectly casual to fancy and formal in approximately, on the outside, 30 seconds, thereabouts. So yeah, I cannot tell you how much I love like putting together an outfit where it's like I have the bits and pieces and it like transforms. And the other thing is this little top, very kind of 80s vibe, but looks great with a straight pair of black pants. Or like a straight tube-like black skirt. Great vibe. So I actually think I will I'm not sure I'll wear the skirt section of this very often, but the top section I actually think I will wear a bit. So I made another thing. I do like making things. And when they all come together, when you have a picture in your head of how something can look, and then you execute it, man, is there anything nicer than that? I'm not sure. It is so satisfying to put those things together. So I have an outfit for a wedding that I think will be eminently appropriate and comfortable and wearable and packable. And afterwards, I can just take it all off and shove it in the suitcase, and it doesn't matter. It does crinkle a teeny bit, so I am going to have to, I think probably until, like, I'm going to have to, like, hang it up in the shower, like, after the shower and steam, drop the wrinkles out, and then, like, on the way up, have it hanging in a carrier, because we will need that anyway. Mr. Icy has to take a suit jacket. And then just, this is not, like, it's not noticeable, but it's not like it can be ironed. So the one downside. But thank you for joining me on this another sewing journey as I make more things to wear places, which is, unusual, as opposed to making more things to sit on a mannequin. I do have thoughts, feelings, visions of the next project, and I know what the next project, it's entirely possible there'll be another little small project in between, but I do have a vision for the next big project. And so I am thinking hard about that right now. It will probably, it'll be, the big project is another jacket. and it will be Victorian themed. Nominally it will go with this lot, but it will also be something I can wear, another fandom one actually, technically, but I should be able to wear it elsewhere as well, and more easier to wear than a Victorian walking dress. So, but yeah, that's likely to be a big project as well. So I'm thinking about it, very excited. But thank you so much for joining me here on YouTube. I appreciate it. You can find me in all of the socials linked in the description below. Threads, Mastodon, Instagram. Do I post very often on any of them? A bit, sometimes less than you think. You know, for somebody who has nominally a small YouTube channel, it'd be cool if it got bigger. I really don't post very much on socials about the things I make. I take pictures, I have them ready to go. Do I remember to post anything about it when the videos go live? No. I need a social media manager for my life. I need a manager for my life. Don't we all? But thank you very much for joining me here on YouTube. I appreciate it. It's lovely to see you all. I'll see you next time for the next sewing adventure, I guess. Bye.